Okay, and we are live. Hello everyone, Clark is Shy here. Welcome back to yet another Zombies for Charity live stream today here for this year's... Oh, that's a stream playing from my phone, so I can have the chat. But today is the mock draft. Now, compared to the other events, it's not anything huge. It's not anything like super special. It's a discussion with some of the Z4C members of staff and the players to discuss their predictions on who they think, on what they think the teams will look like this year. So that is what we're going to be discussing today. It's very exciting. We have FPS Psycho joining us. We have B-Rad the Man. We have B-Rad the 6. We did tweet out that Zone X and Invalid will be joining us, but unfortunately due to work scheduling and their personal lives, they have had to unfortunately back out of today's mock draft. But that's okay, because we'll still have some others if, if other players are free later on within the day and the mock draft is still going on, then we can have more people join us. But to explain what the mock draft is, for anyone, wondering what it is, basically the mock draft is where, once again, staff members, players of C4C get together and discuss, who they think, on what they think the teams will look like this year. And I am a captain this year, myself personally. The captains aren't involved because this is a talk about them and what their teams will look like. I myself, when it comes to predictions on who I might pick, I need to keep my mouth shut. Right, I need to keep my mouth shut. There were no other hosts available, so I will be hosting the mock draft today. But before we get into the mock draft and before I join the VC with the GOATs themselves, Brad and Beware the 6, we do have to reveal our last player, the Captain's Draft challenges, and of course the game we're doing the Captain's Draft challenges on. So I will be revealing the last player to you guys now.
Boots on a Saturday night, kicking outdoors trying to make it happen. Swing, don't miss in the wicked fight, and then it's open up, and then we'll go swing, roll. Snakeskin boots on a Saturday night.
The last man standing wins.
Where did we go? Wrong did we know that we will attend? Destroy and create. Our stories dead ended.
Alright, there you go. So that is Tim Hansen making his second return to Zombies for Charity. Well, technically his third return, as Tim was introduced in Z4C 3 as someone who marketed and promoted Zombies for Charity 3 all those years ago. And it was his first time playing last year, and now he is coming back to play again this year again. And we're seeing Brad, Beware the 6, Whitecliff, everyone in the chat. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today. Whitecliff, I did DM you earlier in the Z4C Twitter DMs. I don't know if you would like to join us for today's mock draft, but if you want to, you're definitely free to join, good sir. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic day, and I want to say thank you all so much for the support you guys have been giving us so far. We've raised over $425 so far for WWF. Again, any donation is greatly appreciated, from $1 to $50. It doesn't matter, any support of any size of donation, greatly appreciate. And then if you guys can't donate but still want to support the charity, you guys can share it on Twitter, Instagram, share it with your family, share it with your grandma, share it with anyone. But at the end of the day, I want to say thank you all so much. We've got 10 Hornets here as well. Thank you all so much. I'm sorry if that was a bit loud, the reveal there. I do apologise. But I am about to join the VC here in a sec, but we've got to reveal the game for the Captain's Draft that's happening next week, along with the 3 challenges for the Captain's Draft. There's only 3 challenges following off what we've done previously with other Captain's Draft, aside from C4C, 7Cs. But the game for this year's Zombies for Charity, the Chaos Trials Captain's Draft, will be on Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Zombies. It will be happening on June 14th, next week, at 1 PM Eastern, 6 PM BST, so same time as today, like this when this mock draft started, and then 7 PM CST. So there you go, guys. And Brad's coming in with the $25 donation. I was showing the screen there, and obviously the alert popped up there. I'm sorry, Brad, you can kick my ass. But Brad coming in with the $25 donation. Brad, thank you so much to donate for WWF. That is now at $450. Thank you so much, Brad. And again, Brad is being introduced as a player once again. Brad's first time playing in Zombies for Charity since C4C 4. So, Brad, I can't wait to see what you do. But again, the Captain's Draft will be on Black Ops 4 Zombies. And the challenges, they are very simple, but there's a lot of twists to them. That's what we can say. Save the Pandas, 100%, Brad. I totally agree. But for the first Captain's Draft challenge, we're starting off with the 9 Death of the Rhine speedrun. The rules are, it's hardcore difficulty, and there's no elixirs. And the captains have a time limit of 45 minutes to get this challenge done. Once it's past 45 minutes, that's it. You're taking the DNF and it's 0 points, unfortunately. But I'm excited, man. So, of course, there's the Death of Orion speedrun. No, the Death of Orion speedrun. The Death of Orion Easter egg where you can get a free Death of Orion. That's basically what this speedrun is here. So, obtain the free Death of Orion Easter egg in the fastest time possible within 45 minutes. With an hardcore difficulty, no elixirs. So, very excited for that. Now, this next one is a big, big twist. And this one is the Tagged or Totem, the 5 challenge totem speedrun, along with pack-a-punching 2 weapons from the Golden Pack-a-Punch. This was a challenge that me, Chuck, and Clips wanted to go into detail with. Well, not more into detail, but we wanted to really switch things up. And Zombies for Charity, we actually spoke about this to the previous owner, Braden. One of the things that we've never done in Zombies for Charity is use custom mutations. And for this challenge, that's what we're going to be doing. So again, no elixirs. Winter's Whale and Victoria's Tortoise is banned. Those are the only perks you're not allowed at all. And there will be a 15% point reduction. That is the only rules you need set for custom mutations. And because this is quite a long challenge, you get 1 hour to do this challenge. So Tag to Totem is going to be a really interesting one. We've not done tag in an official event, I think, probably since maybe Z4C 2? I think Z4C 2 was the last time we've done a Tag to Totem, like, official challenge, I'm pretty sure, which is wild to think. I like custom mutations, makes things interesting. That is what we wanted to do, is custom mutations is something, once again, we've never done in Z4C. So to see that, you know, hopefully you guys are liking that, you know, will be a great twist of things. And then for the last challenge, for the Cactus Draft challenge, will be the Ancient Evil Easter egg speedrun. No Winter's Whale and no Victoria's Tortoise is allowed, so they are banned. Hardcore difficulty and classic elixirs only. The captures get 1 hour to do this. Now, the captures were already revealed, these challenges, 1 week prior to this event, as just so they get enough time to practice this event. So they've gone so far a week of practicing. I myself haven't practiced because I've been busy setting up the mock draft and I've been busy with other things in my life. But I'll tell you this, I will definitely be practicing tonight. But I am very, very excited with how things are going to go for the Cactus Draft. It's definitely a big twist, and the last time we done Black Ops 4 for the Cactus Draft was actually Zombies for Charity 3. Zombies for Charity 3. So yeah, but let me pull up the list of let me pull up the mock draft little graphic I made for us today, and then after that I'm hopping in the VC. But to give everyone a breakdown, for anyone joining, you know, for anyone who might have missed it, we have now revealed our last 3 players. Obviously, we revealed Nova V2 with our support showcase event. B-Rad the Man coming back ever since Zombies for Charity 4, his first time playing since Z4C 4. We revealed him during the Players Combine event, and then Tim Hansen has now just been revealed to be the last player. So shout to Tim. And then of course here are the rest of the players that were revealed during the live reveal. Rage Aimbot, No Name Here, Insane Gamer, Chuck V107, FPS Psycho, Too Bad for Xbox, Invalid, Audacity, The Legend HD, Zone Experts, Zenixy, Beware the Six, J Money 26, MCC, and of course Whitecliff. And then of course you have your captains, Expert Fusion, Stanley557, Jolts, Frecklestone, myself, Clark SJ, and of course Crazy Shoot. So a lot of new faces, a lot of returning faces, that haven't returned in a while, or maybe have returned in previous years as of recently and have switched up a bit. But let me pull this up for you guys here. So this is the list here. So what me and the players will be discussing is who will be, you know, winning each challenge and such. And I'm going to explain the Cactus Draft challenges to you guys in just a second here, because I need to explain it to them on how this is going to work. But let me join the mock draft VC with Beware the Six and B-Rad the Man. Hello, gentlemen.
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Yo, what's going on, guys? How are you doing today?
Doing alright. About yourselves?
Doing alright, man. I'm glad to hear you guys are doing well. Now, I want to give you guys a chance to introduce yourselves, as I know, Brad, a lot of people know you. Beware the Six, I know this is new, but Brad, you haven't played since Zombies for Charity 4, and Beware the Six, this is your first time ever being in Zombies for Charity,
yes,
so...
most definitely.
So
I'm very excited to be a part of it.
I was just saying, Beware the Six, how about you introduce yourselves first, seeing as this is your first time ever joining in Zombies for Charity?
Yeah, of course. I've been doing zombies videos for like the past 9 months, we'll say. I've had a blast, and these challenges, from the sounds of them, sound pretty insane, so I'm excited.
Awesome.
Black Ops 4, I absolutely love it. I think Ancient Evil is one of my favorite. Dead of the Night, Love it. Gotta love the atmosphere there. But yeah, I'm excited to see what I've got. You know, I haven't even done the Ancient Evil Easter egg. I think people are gonna make fun of me for that, but
You know what, dude?
it
Ancient
happens to be one of
Evil.
my favorite maps.
Yeah, in my opinion, best map in Call of Duty Zombies. Is my favorite Zombies map of all time. I love Ancient
You're
Evil.
kidding.
Oh, dude,
Dude, it's
not
so
even
good.
kidding.
Such
I
an
love Ancient
underrated
Evil.
atmosphere as well. Such an underrated atmosphere, I think, yeah.
Absolutely. Brad, what about you? Introduce yourself, good sir.
Yo, everyone, you know me. I'm Beer the Man. Let's say partner here with the Zombies for Charity. I apologize ahead of time if my voice gets crackly and stuff. I've been battling some weird cold for the last week or so, but I'm getting there, getting better. But as far as the challenges and stuff go for next week, I'm honestly excited to see this. I'm happy that a lot of the stuff is going to be BO4. Very underrated game in my opinion. It's one of my favorites. I think it's probably like number 2 or 3 for me. So it'll be interesting to see how this game, how our captains play next week, because there's a lot of good competition here with among our captains. Freckleston's obviously going to be a guy that I think is going to be really have a really good shot of winning a lot of them. I think Jolts has a really good shot because he is a BO4 king. So let's say I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of good competition here. I like the challenges; those are very interesting, and yeah, just to see how the teams stack up here. I'm very intrigued. I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, me too. We got a lot of expert fusion, man. It's been an honor. I think he shouted me out in one of his videos, but it was by surprise, and he's great, man. I've talked to him a couple times.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, no, we got a wide variety of players, captains, and I'm glad you two like the sound of the challenges for the captains draft this year.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, I'm going to explain to everyone, and of course your guys' selves, on how this year's captains draft is going to work. It's very, very simple. So of course, there's 6 team captains in total, and this will be based on time. Whoever finishes the fastest each challenge wins, as they're all speedruns. And let's say, for example, Expert Fusion takes first place by getting the fastest time on the 9 challenge. He will end up getting 6 points from that challenge alone. And then if everyone completes the challenge on time, well, their points will be rewarded accordingly to their time. So take, for example, myself, I got the slowest time, but I still managed to finish within the time limit. I would get 1 point. So whoever gets the total amount of points after all 3 rounds, that will be the deciding order on who gets to pick who first in their team. So, of course, we've got to keep in mind all the challenges you guys listed off. Of course, the 9 Death or Ryan speedrun with the hardcore difficulty, no elixirs. You get a time limit of 45 minutes to complete it. Of course, Tag the Tone, the 5 challenge totem speedrun, get all the 5 challenge totems done. And we'll pack a bunch of 2 weapons from the Golden Pack Punch only. And it's custom mutations, no elixirs, no one to swirl Victorious Tortoise allowed. There's a 50% point reduction. You get 1 hour to do that. And then the Ancient Evil Easter egg speedrun with no one to swirl, no Victorious Tortoise, hardcore difficulty, classic elixirs in 1 hour time limit also. So there's a lot of stuff here, but I think the first thing we've got to discuss is who do we think will be winning the first challenge? The 9 Death Orion Easter egg speedrun.
That is tough. Because I'm trying to think about when some of these guys started zombies content, because I don't really know how they play.
Well, from what I know,
but...
and I'm not trying to call out my boy Crazy Shoot because he's completely new to. I don't want to say completely new to the zombie scene. I think he really started with modern zombies, as I know a lot of people have started with zombies within Cold War. A lot of people, and I think he is one of the people that did start with modern zombies. He loves the hell out of Modern Warfare zombies. I was going to say something, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think he's played a lot of Black Ops 4 zombies himself personally. And
really,
he's again. I said this earlier. The captains were revealed these challenges weeks prior, so they have enough time to practice. So
yeah,
I'm gonna guess he's gotten some practice in, especially if he hasn't played Black Ops 4. So I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance. He definitely does, but of course, with the people that have played Black Ops 4, the experience, the amount of experience that you've had with this game matters, seeing as the game came out in, 2018, as far as I'm aware. So, you gotta think of that as well. But, I don't know, man. if I'm talking Black Ops 4 lovers here, I think Expert or Jolts, they could definitely take the cake
Yeah.
with the first round, personally. That's how I feel.
Let's see. My thought on the two is I really do think with it being BO4, those two definitely have a strong case for being like the winner in not only in this round but in many of the rounds. But we have to remember too, Freckleston is also a speed king, so he speed runs a lot of these challenges just basically in his sleep. So my prediction, if I were a betting man, would probably say Freckleston takes his first round.
You think Ferguson takes the first? Okay.
I think so. Like I said, I think he just because he speeds runs a lot of these competitions. I think he does a phenomenal job in terms of just like knowing like every step of like what he needs to do in order to, you know, complete all these challenges and stuff. He probably does the Death of Orion speed or Easter egg just to get 9 records. So I'm gonna say Freckleston's probably a good shot to win, and then I would probably go. And I only say I don't know Crazy Shoot's gameplay or game, like I don't know how he plays, so I think he's probably gonna take last. If I were to guess, I'd say Freck, then Expert, then Jolts, then somewhere Stanley and Clark. I'm not entirely sure which one of you two will take 4th and 5th.
Okay. I was trying to fight because I can't remember the last time, as far as I'm aware, when Freckleston did play BO4. Because I know he plays a lot of BO3, and I know he's really enjoyed Black Ops 6 Zombies, and that is the game for the main event. But I don't know, you gotta keep in mind, like, these aren't, like, the challenge itself is simple, but there is a big twist, of course, with hardcore difficulty, no elixirs.
Yeah, true that.
I can honestly, it's definitely for my first, for first place, I definitely think it's either Expert, Stanley, or Jolts. I'm decent at zombies, man. Like, I'm knowledged. Like, I know how to do the Easter eggs back to back. I know how to do it. It's just my skill's decent, you know. If I get myself in a tricky situation, I might freak out a bit and just absolutely lose it if I down. But
All right, I'm sold. I'm putting money on Expert.
You think Expert's going to take the first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to take the second?
Stanley.
Stanley. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. And what about your 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th pick?
Well, let's see here. Honestly, bro, I think you could take 3rd.
Brad.
You think, I don't know. Like I still think Freckleston's probably going to be a strong competitor for first. So I would say Freck for 3rd, and then Jolts, I guess, for 4th. But
Okay.
I don't know. Like the thing is too, I don't remember the last time a lot of these guys have done the Death of Orion speed runs. So I don't know. It's gonna
most
be
people just
interesting
spend
to
the
see what
box.
happens. Yeah. So I would say if we're gonna go Expert first and then Stanley second, I would say Freckleston 3rd, Jolts 4th, and then Clarky 5th, and Beware the 6-6.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. I think. Like, here's the thing, Brad. You know Jolts more than anyone here. I don't know how he is when playing BO4. I know he's the guy, and I know he spent hundreds of hours trying to do the Blood of the Dead realistic Easter egg, and he did succeed. He definitely did succeed.
Yep.
I just don't know, because, like, of course, doing realistic without no elixirs, or hell, even classic elixirs is difficult. I think anyone who's played realistic or even tried to go for the realistic eggs have definitely used the mega elixirs, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more leaning towards Stanley, but yet again, I think
6 is Spider-Man, thank you.
I think Stanley and Expert, like, they always talk the bigger picture, like how most people play, but they play in different ways. But I think Stanley's more
Well,
a unique player when it comes to these type of challenges. I think this is something that wouldn't surprise him, I think. That's just me personally, though.
but the only reason I say that too is because I don't really know how much Stanley speed runs. I know he is very knowledgeable about a lot of this stuff, but as far as like speed running, that's where I'm a little more skeptical. That's why I put Stanley in the like 4 to 5 category, because I know in terms of like when it comes to speed running, I know Freckelson is a stronger competitor. Same with Jolts for BO4. And like I said, Expert is kind of like in that same spot of like, I know he's knowledgeable, I just don't know how much he speed runs. So
Well,
that's why I had my order switched around like that.
I would say you gotta keep in mind, Expert. I would say he's got more. He's played. He's more experienced in speedruns more than Stanley. Thing is that I don't know. I think in terms of who's got the more speedrun experience, I would say Expert first, and Freckelson is a good shout. I just think the biggest thing holding him back is I don't think he plays a lot of hardcore difficulty with the rules being changed to with no elixirs being allowed as well.
Well, how many of these guys do know how many of them do play hardcore difficulty? That's
None.
another question too.
None.
Exactly.
But then again, I don't know if Freckelson plays BO4 more than Stanley, Jolts, Expert, even myself.
Hasn't he still done a lot of like blood speedruns?
As far as I'm aware, no. And again, like I might not be knowledgeable on that. Like I know he has done BO4 runs in the past. I'm not saying he hasn't. I just don't think he's not done any in quite a while. At least as far as I'm aware. Because of course he's been killing it with Black Ops 6 Zombies. I know he's been doing BO3 as of recent. I've not seen anything with BO4 in regards to well. But yet again, it's like I did say to the captains a week before when I did reveal them the challenges last week that none of them were allowed to stream it publicly, so it didn't get spoiled for you guys when I did reveal the challenges. So it's something else we've got to take into account. He might be practicing, but I don't know if he's been doing his own thing, of course, with trying to get other speedruns done in his own time, so I don't know.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
B
right.
Red and Clark C. I hope you guys have a great conversation. Actually, I have to go right now.
Alright, dude, that's alright.
Oh, okay.
But I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been great to meet y'all and talk, and I'm very excited to see what happens with this. I think we got a lot of good captains here, so I'll be excited to see them.
Absolutely, man. We're all excited.
All right.
We're glad you had a good time.
Most definitely. All right, y'all take care.
Take care, man.
Take care, dude.
Let's
Peace.
see. Wycliffe said in the chat, Ferguson made fun of my Blood of the Dead gameplay on Twitter, so he knows enough to roast me at least. Alright, so he's well aware of Blood of the Dead, but you gotta keep in mind, Blood of the Dead's not involved. You got 2 Chaos maps being 9, Ancient Evil, and then there's Tide to Tone. But if we're talking 9 here, I don't know how he is on 9, I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. I do not know how he is. Chat, does anyone...
Thanks, did it. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just saying, does anyone in the chat have any predictions?
Yeah, chat. Let us know predictions obviously in the live chat there. But like I said, I'm willing to default to what you want to do. I think Freckelson's probably going to be a stronger shout, but
Okay.
like I said, I just don't know enough about like Stanley and Expert's speed running history. So like I said, if you want to go Expert first and then Stanley second, and I think it was Freck third, Jolt's fourth, I'm totally cool with that.
I think my list is going to be, for this round anyway, it's going to be very controversial. Because I will say, chat, I've not practiced the challenges because I've not had the time to, but after this stream I'm definitely going to start. My list for round 1, I think Expert can take the first. I think Jolts will take second. because he's more experienced with, you know, the other stuff you can do in Black Ops 4. I think Stanley will take the third, Freckelstein with the fourth. I'll take the fifth, and Crazy Shoot with the last. The bold prediction there, but that's I can see that being a possibility. Personally,
I'm willing to go with that.
okay. That's that then. Let's talk about the second round. Jolts is actually in the chat. What's up, Jolts? I suck at 9. Give me last place. We're sorry, Jolts. But we hope you're having a fantastic day, Jolts, today. But hey, you can talk about tag to tone. How are you with tag to tone? Because this is quite the unique challenge. Probably the most unique challenge we've ever done for any time we've done Black Ops 4 Zombies in a Zombies for Charity stream. Again, you need to do all the 5 challenge tones. Like, the one at the end of the boat, where Mule Kick would be in Call of the Dead. That one's quite easy. The one that spawns quite easy. The one where you get the shield's quite easy. I'm pretty sure the one near the spawn room of Call of the Dead and Tag the Tone's not hard. I just don't know about the one at the power station. And then, of course, packing 2 weapons to go and pack a bunch. All you really need to do is save a lot of points, turn on the last power switch, and then just head straight to go and pack. Because I was immediately open it. But the problem is that there's a 15% point reduction here. And of course, you need to really play it safe here, because Winter's Whale and Victoria's Tortoise is banned as well, so it's quite...
I want to clarify something on this too. So can they only use the golden pack-a-punch to pack a punch, or
Yes.
can they okay, so they otherwise they can't use a singular pack at all, because that's going to be really tough.
We wanted to, because we were discussing this, we were thinking how we're going to switch it up, and do we want to make it like super difficult, or do we just want to make it And Clippy and I'm pretty sure Chuck as well, they did test this out. As far as I'm aware, it was alright. Definitely the only problem that they did bump into was the 15% point reduction. Everything else didn't seem so bad. But you gotta keep in mind, this is something I can look into, because this is something I've just thought of, and I actually am shocked that I'm just thinking about this now, because you could pack a punch and then just go to golden pack a punch anyway, because with how BO4 works, you got to keep this in mind as well, everyone, is with golden pack a punch, the moment you pack a punch it, that's your weapon fully upgraded, right? Because in Black Ops 4, you need to go to the pack a punch once, and then repack it another 4 times to fully pack a punch it. So, this is something I should have looked into, so I apologize in advance. But I'm just thinking, because even then, when they did try it out, even with like no pack a punch, it wasn't super difficult. It was just the point reduction was the biggest pain in the butt. I could say, just saying, hey, let's allow them to pack a punch, but let's make sure they don't completely repack from the normal pack punch. They at least gotta pack a punch 2 weapons in the golden pack. That will be something I'll look into, and I'll discuss with the other members there. But
yeah, or you could do something like where they only pack a gun like once or whatever, and then, but when they go to golden pack, whatever, it has to be like a brand new weapon or something like that. That's something that, because I just have a feeling that not having the ability to pack until you get to golden pack is going to be challenging, considering the fact that you got the point reduction, you got no Winter's Whale. That's just going to be, and it's on hardcore, so it's obviously the zombies are going to be a little bit tougher. So
this challenge isn't on hardcore. This challenge isn't on hardcore.
Oh, it's not on hardcore.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, fair enough then. But either way, like, still without having like a single pack, because unless you have PhD and you actually get the Hellion or whatever, some of those guns are kind of mid. So
make a good point. But yeah, no, I'll take a look into it. But obviously, if we're let's just keep in mind this is how it is for now. If we're going off with it, Again, I don't know what.
If we're going,
Oh,
if we're going off of this, as much as I know, he's been a little like he's got this like in the middle of his ranking pretty much. But if I were to make a prediction, I think Jolts has a pretty decent shot of getting first in this one.
okay.
Because I know he, when we've played, he's done this a few times or whatever, so he's genuinely aware of the challenges and stuff. I think this might be one where I think Freckleson might have a little bit of difficulty with speed running, because I don't know how much he speed runs tag, and I don't know if he knows.
I really don't
all
remember
the podiums.
like the last time he's ever played tag to toe in like at all. So no, I completely agree with you on that one.
Yeah. So if I were to make predictions, I would say either Expert or Jolts will get first or second.
I agree.
But I'll probably go Jolts, just because I think he's got a legitimate shot with the podiums and everything.
Mhm.
And then I'll go Expert. Then I'll go Stanley on this one.
Okay.
For third. I think I'm gonna go with you for fourth.
Right.
And then I'll go Freckleson for fifth.
Right.
And then yeah.
Alright, I agree with your Jolt spec. I do think Jolt will place first for the second challenge. I'm just trying to think about myself here. Because the only thing that will bother me with this challenge is the challenge totals. Like, I know like 3 out of the 4. Well, I think I know 4 of the 5. I can't remember the one at the Call of the Dead spawn, but I can't remember that one off by heart. But I don't know the one at the last like power switch. I cannot remember that one at all. I don't even think I've done it, so
I know one of them at the facility is the basically playing whack-a-mole with the characters or whatever with the snowballs.
I know that's one of them. I don't know the other 2 though.
I don't remember what the other 2 are, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, like I said, I think it'll go with the, like I said, I'm locked with those 3 at the top, and then you and Freckleson. I could flip flop you and Freck for fourth and fifth, but I think that's how that's gonna be.
I can see it. I'm just really thinking about Stanley. So I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, he's gonna be a wild card for me with these challenges, just because like I said, I know he's knowledgeable with these challenges and stuff, or at least he is knowledgeable with the game. But I just don't know how. I just don't know his speed run game. That's the only thing where I'm like, he could be all over the place. So.
I think.
And again, that's just my thought.
I think I'm going to have to agree with your list. Because I'm going to agree. I think Stanley's a wild card. I think I'll have a good chance. I just need to... Because, like, when I think about it, it doesn't sound that difficult, but I think the one at the facility is going to be a big pain.
Yeah. Also, I have a feeling that some people might get a little impatient with the P-jar stuff.
I'm one of those people that do it all the time, so I'll be fine for that.
Yeah.
That's tough. I'm gonna have to agree with your list, I think. Every player that you slotted in, so Jolts, Expert, Stanley, myself, Reckless, and Crazy Shoot, I will agree with the exact same list, I think. Because I think I have a good chance to beat Stanley, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, like I said, the 3 through 5 could be flipped easily for me, but I think 1 and 2 are definitely locked.
What's up, Insane Gamer? How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Wait, you got it totally wrong? Oh, it's Insane, and I think Insane Gamer has a prediction himself. What are we missing? Give us your knowledge. The first in the world is the Wildlife Fund. You know what? Facts.
He's got
facts. Facts. He's right. He's right. He's 100% right. He's 100% right. Insane Gamer, I don't know if you're free, man, but if you ever want to join in the mock draft VC, me and Brad are here. You're free to join whenever you want for the stream here. You know, I think I'll agree with your list with the second challenge.
I'm cool with that.
But for the third challenge, this is the big boy here. Of course, it's the Ancient Evil E6 region. No one to spell, no fight to restore this once again. This one is on hardcore difficulty. It's classic elixirs, and the time limit's 1 hour. So, Frecklestone, he is experienced with Ancient Evil. I know he's definitely speedrunned it. With the man himself, Kingman.
Yes.
So this is already saying something.
I think this is one where he has a legitimate shot at being first. Truthfully, because to be fair, I think this map is high up on all your lists, like all the captains' lists. I know it's like Jolts' 4th favorite map. I know it's your favorite map. I know Freckleston speedruns it. I think Stanley and Expert have this in their top 10. So they're obviously put a lot of time into this map. However, Freckleston is gonna be number 1.
Okay.
And then I think Jolts has this in the second, or it's gonna be second in this one.
All right.
And then again, 3 through 5 could be flipped easily, and I apologize to Crazy Shoot. I don't know your game, so I'm just putting you in last.
I'll come in and say this. You gotta keep in mind, chat. Crazy Shoot is new to Z4C. This is the first time Crazy Shoot's ever been introduced to Zombies for Charity. I know he's upcoming within the Zombies community scene specifically. Especially, I'm pretty sure, one of the biggest Modern Warfare Zombies content creators. Like, he's still doing Modern Warfare Zombies. And I know Modern Warfare Zombies isn't everyone's game. This is something we all gotta keep in mind. So, you know what? I respect, bro. But when I did DM him, because I've never seen him do Black Ops 4 when I did ask him, he said he never done Black Ops 4. I don't know if he's maybe played it like on a friend's PlayStation before, maybe for a little while, I don't know. But again, I'm pretty sure he was never a Zombies guy until Modern Zombies generally came out. And that's not just Cold War. For all I know, he could have started with Modern Warfare Zombies, but I know he's played a lot of Black Ops 6. Like, when we first asked him, he was actually live doing a Citadel D More 4-player round 100 Easter egg. So, he's definitely skilled. It's just Black Ops 4, when you compare it to like the classic era of Zombies and the modern era of Zombies, Black Ops 4 is its own, it's completely different compared to those era of games. So that's something that you really got to keep in mind with that one. But again, we love Crazy Shoot, we respect him, we're just unaware of how he's going to do it, because but again, he can go live and practice the challenges, and if any of the captains are watching this, because I'm going to personally do this, now that the challenges have been revealed publicly, you all are allowed to stream your practice runs if you want to. If you don't want to, that's completely fine. So we could potentially see Crazy Shoot stream tomorrow for all we know on the practice run, and he could be absolutely killing it, and our mock draft would just completely change. But No, Crazy Shoot, he's a good player for the modern era. We just don't know how he is for Black Ops 4. Is the biggest twist here. So, we respect bro, but it's the one person that we're not totally aware of. So, no disrespect to him whatsoever. But no, I feel you. I do think Freckleston and Jolts has a good chance.
Yeah, I think Freck is one. I think Jolt's is second. And this is on hardcore too and classic, so that's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna go expert third, and then you fourth, and then Stanley fifth.
Wow. Okay.
The only, again, 3 through 5 could be interchanged, but I think because this is your favorite map, and I know you may not always be like the strongest with speedruns, but you do give it a fair shot most of the time. So I do think that you have a pretty solid chance of at least placing high on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I just don't know Stanley's speed run history, so I think he's gonna probably take the last spot. I honestly think that it's gonna be neck and neck with the three of you. Like, it truly can be.
It's just I can
and then Jolson Freckleston will be neck and neck for first.
I can definitely see something bad happening to Freckleston simply just because it's on hardcore difficulty and Winterswell and Victoria's Tortoise is not allowed. I don't think Victoria's Tortoise will be a problem. I think the fact of no Winterswell might be an issue. Or maybe not. I don't know. Because I know there's a... With the BO4 perk system, I see a lot of speedrunners really switch up their perk loadout. Like, it's so strange to me whenever I see unique loadouts, whenever I see Black Ops 4 historic speedruns, but I think the hardcore difficulty is going to mess it up on someone, man. I really do think that. I really do think that'll mess up with someone. I could definitely see it messing with Freckleston, because I highly, like, again, hardly anyone plays hardcore, but I think of the people that have definitely probably played hardcore the most, I think Freckleston and Crazy Shoot are the last two people to have played hardcore difficulty the least on Black Ops 4. I think myself, Jolts, Stanley, and Expert have definitely played hardcore difficulty way more than Freckleston and Crazy Shoot.
I agree with that.
But no, I agree. It's just like this is going to be a big turnaround, this challenge. I think I can see something bad happening to Freckleston. I have a gut feeling. I'm not saying like he's garbage or whatever. I could just see. I'm having a weird feeling. My spider sense is tingling on that one. I think Expert Fusion will take the first on this challenge.
Really?
He is knowledge with Easter eggs. He's done the speedruns. Does he do it more than your average typical speedrunner? No. But I think when it comes to when he does need to play it safe, when it comes to playing these speedrun strats, he'll definitely play it safe if he really needs to. Whereas I think most speedrunners, even if, like, you know, when they are aware when they need to slow down a bit and play it safe, I don't think they will. I think they'll take the risk, and that's a big fault that I have, because there's times where I'm just like, I'm going to die here, but I'm going to lose time. I need to go for it. And then I'll die anyway, and I'll lose the run completely. So I don't know. I think Expert has a good chance of taking the first, and I think Jolts will take the second.
Interesting. I could very well be wrong too, but like I said, with my predictions, I think that's probably... It's not out of the realm of possibility. I just have a feeling that Freckleston's going to be pretty high up there in terms of the speed run.
I agree. I'll take Freckleston for the third. I'll also take myself for the fourth. And I will take Stanley for the fifth and then Crazy Shoot at last. So that's our list there. So let me do this quickly. I've been typing down like all the players here. So if I add up our scores both combined here, so because let's see here. So Stanley, Frankelson. So Crazy Shoot. And this is if you were to finish. She'd come in with 3 points in total because we put him last for all the challenges. So let's see. I put Frankelson at first for me personally. For round 1. I then put him at 5th for round 2. So that's what? I better pull up a calculator just in case. My math is off. Like, I was supposed to say awesome. No, it's awful. So that would be like what, 6 plus 2, so that's 8. I know what 6 plus 2 is, I'm just talking about when the numbers come around later on. And then if Freckleston comes in 3rd, that would be like, I don't know, 3 points. But plus, you put him at, let's see. No, I put him at 4th for round 1. You put him at 1st for round 1. I got me and you mixed around here. If you got 4th place in round 1, which is mine here, you get 3 points. For round 2, I also said you'd get 5th place as my prediction. And then for round 3, yeah. So that would
Chad, Insane Gamer makes a interesting question here. Is it after each round? Is when we get to the actual draft, is it going to be a pick after each round, or is it going to be tally up the points and then go into the draft?
It's a tally up of all the points after all the challenges are ended, and then the draft starts.
Okay. Good for clarification.
There you go. But in total, for Freckleston, that would put Freckleston to 22 points. That's our points put together for Freckleston. For Jolts, it would be, let's see, 4, 6, 5, 5, 6, 5. And then for Stanley, it would be, let's see, it would be 3, 4, 2, 4 again, 4 again, and then 2. I'd put him at 19 points if we're combining our points together, you know. Let's see. I like that. It seems the most fair. Yeah, no, me personally, this was more of a personal thing. Because this was something I liked about in E4C. I know in E4C, they waited till all the challenges were done and then started the choosing of the players. I know we done it in Zombies for Charity 4, where after each and every round, that's when you would pick, you know, your player, which I didn't mind the idea. I didn't dislike it. I just think this is a better way to go because everyone's main focus is then on the challenges, how the captains are doing, and then after that, the main focus will be down to the captains all focusing on choosing who they want to choose. So, just so focus isn't separated every time at the end of a challenge, but that's just me personally. But if we were to put in experts points here together, let's see. And then, damn. Okay. So that would be, so for myself, that would be 2, 3, 3 again, 2, 3, and 3 again. So that put me at 16. Alright, so here's the thing. So I've just tallied up all of our points together there, Brad, from our personal placements. So last place would be Crazy Shoe until that would be 6 points because we put him last in each one. That's our points combined. Our combined points for 5th would be me with 16 points. Combined points for 4th would be Freckleston with 22 points. Fourth place, no, it would be Stanley with 19 points, sorry, I can't count. Combined points for 3rd place would be Freckleston with 22 points, but there's a tie for points here with Expert and Jolts.
Okay.
With 31 points.
So if they're both tied.
So we need to choose.
Would the tiebreaker be then? Because should we do tiebreaker like who took the higher stance of each in their rounds? Because we gave expert 2 wins and we gave Jolts 1, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
what should we do? Like, who took first the most out of that, or should we just do a coin flip? Because that's kind of a.
Well, I doubt a tiebreaker is going to happen again, like because I combined our points together on our personal placements. Obviously, there's not going to be points combined here, but in this case, well, Jolts is in the chat right now. I know Expert isn't here, but I feel like it would be very important to get his opinion. So, Jolts, there's a guarantee, if I'm putting it together right, for the captain's draft, there's most likely not going to be a tie, but in this case, me and Brad have put our personal scoring points together. You and Expert tied with 31 points. How, from all these challenges, because I think we've got to take into account, how skilled and how confident are you feeling with yourself in these challenges? So I think that's something else we've got to kind of take into consideration if we get his point of view. And Gamer also said it also guarantees that nobody gets one pick every round. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I just wasn't a big fan of that person. I didn't hate in Z4C, but it just wasn't for me. I like to get through all the challenges and then the draft starts. How many challenges are there? There's 3 in total. There is 3 challenges in total, so we're going with the same captain's draft route like we've done in the past with 3 challenges in total. So, yeah. But they've got a big twist on them, so I expect them to last long, especially when the last 2 challenges have got a time limit of 1 hour. So, yeah, but at least we're starting somewhat simple with the 9 Death Orion speedrun. But what do you think, Brad? Who do you think would take the top, Jolts or Freckleston? If we're just continuing the tie, say if there wasn't a tie.
Sorry, what was the question one more time?
I was just saying, if there wasn't a tie, but and who would you think would take the top out of the 2, Jolts or Freckleston?
If there wasn't a tie, as much as I want to say Jolts probably would take the top spot, I personally think that Freckleston's gonna be higher in a few of these challenges, so I would probably say Freckleston, but that's just my opinion.
Okay, maybe a short but hard challenge for the tiebreaker. Alright, well, we've never had a tiebreaker in the captain's draft, and again, we're only at a tiebreaker here in the mock draft because I've just combined Brad's personal list of rankings for each challenge alongside mine. So that's why we're at a tie, but it's like 95% chance there is most likely not a tie in the captain's draft. I genuinely can't see one happening. And if there is, we can cook up like a little challenge. I mean, BO4 is the game I played the most, so I feel pretty good about the challenges.
That is true.
Yeah, I like that shirt. Thank you, man. I was wearing another shirt, but seeing as I was streaming Z4C today, I had to wear some Z4C merch. I haven't been able to chance to purchase some Z4C merch this year, even though it's fire. Which, by the way,
yeah, got the link.
Shout out to Arkrine. You know, Arkwine is our new graphic designer in Zombies for Charity. He's part of the Z4C staff, and he's been non-stop killing it with the graphic designs, the thumbnails, the merch. It's awesome. And in my opinion, this is my personal favorite year of Zombies for Charity merch. So, do go check out Arkwine. He's great. We love you, Arkwine. Yes, go.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying it. I think Jolts will win the Captain's Draft. And Expert will
You
come in
think Jolt's
seconds.
gonna win?
I think Jolts will win.
I shout out my boy. I'll always go with him, but let's say, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Alright, and that would put Expert second then. So let's see. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then last place. Okay. So if we were going to go in the order here of how we've listed our rankings here from each challenge, Brad. So Jolts would get first pick, Expert would get second pick, Freckleton would get third, Stalin would get fourth, I'd get fifth pick, and Crazy would get sixth. So if we were to start the list right now, who do we think Jolts would pick first? I already know. I'm going to say it, Brad. He's 100% picking you, dog.
No, all right. So, I actually do have, if Jolts gets the first pick, I already know like how he's gonna probably go with the first round, and I will say he is definitely not going with me the first round. I'm guaranteeing you he's not gonna go with me, especially at number 1. There's no way he's gonna pick me at number 1.
I don't know, man. I can
As much as I would
see
love to
it.
put myself on that pedestal, like as much as I want to put myself on that pedestal, I know that's not going to happen. I don't want to give away. I don't want to give away secrets, but we also have to take a look at what challenges are going to be for the main event, and if everything's going to be BO6, then we should probably be looking at like who's a better BO6 player.
Okay. Yeah, that is something you gotta keep in mind, chat. The main event is Black Ops 6. Wait, what was the last final player revealed? The final player was revealed at the start of the stream, but for anyone who didn't miss it, the last 3 players have been revealed, and the last player was Tim Hansen. Tim is joining us for his second time playing in this year's Zombies for Charity. So Tim is the last. Okay.
But yeah, like I said, if Joel somehow gets the first pick, I already know like in my head who he's gonna pick, but I don't want to reveal just because I don't want to give up secrets. So I'll just say like the best hint would be who's the strongest BO6 player, or who's a strong BO6 player.
I already have 2 people on my eye, and I have 1 in mind. If we're going to go with your prediction there, I would say it's definitely one of our newcomers. I think it would be Invalid. Because Invalid, he knows like the logistics of Black Ops 6 when it comes to the best weapons. He's always up to date on everything Black Ops 6 related. And he really does like the game. He knows the challenge. He knows challenges, as in he doesn't know the main event challenges, but you know, he's well skilled at Black Ops 6 zombies. I don't know if Jolts knows Invalid, but I think Invalid would be a good shout for his team. And if Jolts does know Invalid, I think Jolts would pick him.
It's an interesting pick. I don't really want to, I don't want to put a whole lot of input in this because again, I don't want to like reveal anything.
No comment.
And I don't know Invalid's game. I don't know Invalid's game that well, but if he's a strong BO6 player, then I would say, yeah, I'm cool with putting him at that top spot.
Alright, so we want to say Invalid for the first pick.
Like I said, I'll let you put Invalid for the first pick.
Okay. I will put Invalid there. So our prediction invalid alongside Jules for the first round. Jules did say no comment. I don't know if I should be suspicious or not right now. But, alright, Jules. But there you go. So that's who we're thinking for Jules as well. Second pick would be Freckles. Expert Fusion. Who do we think Expert's taking? Now, you gotta keep in mind, Expert's been in every single Zombies for Charity year, apart from Zombies for Charity 1. He was captain in CFC 2, captain in CFC 3, captain in CFC 4, but he hasn't been a captain in CFC 7 Seas or, of course, Blood Rush, but yet again, no one was captain. So this is his first time being captain in 3 years. So, and
He picks Xbox.
Whoa. You know what? I agree, and I only say that because Expert wasn't able to attend the captain's draft during CFC 3 and CFC 4. Xbox at that time in CFC 3, he was, let me think. Xbox was a captain, but Expert got me to play for him during the captain's draft. But when I was a captain in CFC 4, and Expert asked me again, without knowing that I was a captain, Xbox did play for Expert that year, for the captain's draft. So, I can see it being a possibility. I can see it.
I just see too that Expert, like I said, he's got good chemistry with Xbox. He knows that Xbox is good at speed running. He's good at playing all the games. I just see Xbox as a very strong competitor for being anybody's top pick. But if Expert gets second pick and he gets Xbox, I think that's an absolute slam dunk.
I agree. And can we just keep in mind, Xbox slammed every single Players Combine Challenge this year. He won every single one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, dog. If this man doesn't get out first round, I'm just saying that's a bit nuts. CVC 7 is crazy to think about. Yeah. Yeah. Alright.
I don't think Xbox is gonna get out of the first round. I think he's for sure like a top 3 pick. If he gets out of the top 3, I'd be surprised.
I agree. I will agree. I think Xbox, if this is the, you know, how we're going down on our list, then I think Xbox will definitely go to Expert's team. I agree. So who would be third here? Third would be Freckleston. Now, like, we have some people that have speedrunned in this, like not just CPC, but just in general, they've just speedrunned. But not a lot of hardcore speedrunners this year, like Freckleston himself, that do like speedruns constantly. But
I'll see. Now again, this is where another pick where I'm thinking he's gonna go for one of the stronger BO6 players. So again, I don't know anything about Beware the Six or Nova or some of those guys, but as far as like someone that I know like plays BO6 on a fairly regular basis, at least within its life cycle right now, I could see this as a possible Insane Gamer pick.
wow. Okay. I can see it happening.
Because I know Insane Gamer, he streams pretty much
every day for 24 hours. How do you have the patience? How is your sleep at night, sir?
Yeah, I just think that Insane Gamer would be a strong pick for BO6 or with these I don't know what the list of challenges are for the main event, but I could see Insane Gamer being a very strong candidate for a top pick, and I don't know his chemistry with Freckleston, but I think they have. I would think there's some association with the between the two. I could easily see this being a Insane Gamer pick. Me personally.
No, I agree. But because let it be known, Insane Gamer, you could say he was technically introduced in CPC 3 to an extent, for anyone who doesn't know, Insane Gamer, he didn't play in the main event for CPC3, but that's when we knew about him. He done all the main event challenges on his own the day after Zombies for Charity 3, the main event ended. But in ZVC4, so this was his first time playing, he was chosen on IMAC's team, and he won his first year. Let that be note, people. Let that be note.
True.
I know you're in CVC 7 season, saying I can't remember where you play, so you can hit me. But let's keep in mind, Zombies for Charity Blood Rush, you were with Xbox, and you came second last year. And iMac and Frickson talk a lot. I don't know if iMac were to ask, saying, yo, I've heard you've been in this event, who would you recommend? I think he definitely would say that, and you grind BO6 a lot. So I could definitely see that being a possibility. So I'm going to agree with you, but I also want to throw another pick that I could definitely see a possibility.
I have a second one as well, but I'll let you go ahead.
Chuck V107. They were at a team together in Z4C4. They've definitely talked to each other before, compared to, I think, the majority of the players are on this list. Chuck, granted, doesn't speedrun or hardly play BO6, but Chuck in general is a skilled player. Like, he's not bad at BO6.
That is true.
And he does know everything, he just doesn't play it, so. I know he's the big Marvel Rivals guy right now.
That is true. There's the only other pick that I had, the one or someone that I think could easily go in any of the top 3, top 5, top 6 picks would be MZC.
Wow.
That's the only other one that I think could be. I think he could be a strong candidate for a high draft pick. So I forgot too about Chuck being like his chemistry with Freckleston, like that kind of slipped my mind there. But I would say, me personally, I would say Insane Gamer would probably be my third pick, then Chuck, then MZC. Like that, those are like who I'm thinking Freckleston would probably pick. But that's just my perspective.
Wow, okay. Why MCC?
And I say MCC as well because he's the same as Insane Gamer. Like every time I go on, like I look through my YouTube subscriptions, I see him on playing pretty much like constantly BO6 right now. Like he's on there grinding. Like I think right now he's obviously playing a lot of Grief, but it just seems like he's been playing a lot of BO6. I would assume that he's fairly knowledgeable with those Easter eggs. So that's why I think he's going to be high up on the list.
Interesting. Okay.
And again, I'm just going off of like what I see like on a daily. Like go on YouTube subscriptions all the time, but I just don't really know. Like I don't like obviously pay attention to their streams all the time, but I just assume
you see that they're
you're obviously
live.
playing the game.
He's actually playing.
If I see that they're live, they're playing. There you go.
Yeah, he's playing Grief right now. I asked if he wanted to join because I accidentally forgot to send a DM to him. He said, I'm actually doing Grief open lobbies right now. So I was just like, alright, then go for it. Huh, okay.
So, yeah. So, again, that's just who I'm... Like, those would be my 3 for Frick. But, again, that's just my initial thoughts on it. I also feel like I'm feeding you inside information too, so...
No, you're not. This is just like, I'm more just thinking like, because, by the way, when it comes to predictions for my pick, I made the rule where I'm actually not allowed to say anything, so all my predictions are all on you for who you think will be on my team. So...
Okay.
I'm keeping my mouth shut for that one. But for the other captains, I can see Insane Gamer really going for Frick. Just cause, like, again, I don't think Frickson really talks to many people on here apart from even Chucklet. I don't think he's talked to really a lot of people on here, like a lot. So I think it would be between Chuck and Insane, but I genuinely think he would have Bimac and go, yo, so I'm in this event, which I know you were in not long ago. Who would you recommend? I genuinely see him saying Insane, so I'm gonna have to put Insane. First round pick
I'm
with
totally
Recklesson.
cool with that.
I see it. I see it. Now fourth would be Stanley. Now Stanley is one of the biggest up and coming zombie content creators on the scene right now. Probably second because I know FPS Psycho is there, but everyone knows Stanley. Everyone knows Stanley 557. The man
Oh, man, I
himself.
always love Stanley.
And like I think Stanley knows everyone on this list.
I honestly would agree with that.
So I think Stanley has a hard card to play. Because if Stanley somehow beats Expert in this draft, I can genuinely see him beating. I can see him taking Xbox only because of the fact that every hype stream during last year's Zombies for Charity Blood Rush, we always used the wacky wheel to choose the teams. Coincidentally enough, they always ended up on the same team. Smashed it all the time. So
Nice.
that's just something you got to keep in mind. If Stanley beats Expert, I'm just saying. All right, I'm just saying.
That is true.
But who would Stanley go for? This is tough. I actually don't know.
This is a good one. If Stanley goes with my logic of who plays BO6 the most, I could see this as an MZC type of pick.
I agree with that.
I could also see if he goes with the chemistry pick, right off the rip. There's a couple good ones in here. I think I don't know how good of a connection he has with with FPS Psycho. I could see him being a possibility. I could see Whitecliff being a possibility.
Yeah, I see Whitecliff 100%.
And like I said, I don't know enough about Zone XBEX or Zenity to really make a bold prediction on them. But I think if I just don't know if he's gonna go for gameplay or if he's gonna go for chemistry.
Here's the thing, right? Rage brought this up to me. The biggest thing that's happened literally every Z4C is the teams that have won, because I think this is every year. Every team that has won is the team that has got the most chemistry. And I 100% agree with that statement.
That is true. That is
So you could be the best player, but you could end up with a team that you have not talked to, or even when you try to talk with them, you don't really have the best chemistry at all. So, and this would be the best thing for Stanley, because again, Stanley knows quite literally everyone on this goddamn list.
pretty much, yes.
So, if we were to go to chemistry, I would say FPS or Whitecliff, but I would ultimately say Whitecliff. I know he hasn't uploaded a lot because he's been doing, IRL stuff as far as I'm aware, but I genuinely think he would pick Whitecliff. First pick. I can see it happening.
I'm not going to necessarily argue it. I think the thing is, though, I think Whitecliff could possibly, or as much as I love Whitecliff, I love Whitecliff, I love playing with, but I think there's a good chance that could he get Whitecliff in the second?
Absolutely, I can see that.
So that's where I'm thinking, does he go with someone with that? Again, I'm not trying to like shit on Whitecliff here. I'm just saying like, does he go with someone that's a little more knowledgeable and stronger with BO6 gameplay? So that's where I'm thinking maybe FPS is a good competitor, a good one with this, because I think he's a good BO6 gamer, and I think he's got good chemistry with Stanley, so I think maybe he goes that route. Me personally, but I don't know. Stanley is such a wild card for me. I'm not entirely sure like who he's going to take for pick 1.
Well, my counter for your FPS pick is, as far as I'm aware, FPS Cycle does like BO6. Problem is I only see him really play the new updates once. He'll enjoy it and not really complain about it, but then he'll focus on what he mainly does, like on a daily. Play custom zombies on BO3.
That's true.
So I think Stanley would really go for a person that has a good balance of both chemistry and players. Like a good BO6 player, a person that somewhat grinds it to an extent. And if I had to say anyone, I can see JMoney26 being a possibility.
Oh yeah, I forgot J Money. I forgot he plays BO6 quite a bit as well.
He plays BO6
Or
quite a lot.
from what I'm aware of. Yeah, J Money. Honestly, yeah, J Money would be a good pick. I'm totally okay with that.
Honestly, I think the teams that have won have all been whoever practiced the most. I don't know.
That's true.
Because I want to say, because I know Team Backstabbers for Z4C 7Cs, I know they didn't practice like a whole lot, or if they did, I'm pretty sure one of their members didn't make it. I don't know, because like zombies is so, anything can change in any match. Like RNG spawns, RNG with mystery bot. There's RNG no matter where you go in zombies, bro. Like anything can happen in a match with zombies. So I don't know. Me personally, I think it's the chemistry. But if Stanley's got the chemistry with really everyone, but he obviously would want to go for someone that has good experience with Black Ops 6 zombies. I think the perfect balance for that, me personally, at the top of my mind, would genuinely be JMoney26 or hell, definitely MCC. I think would be between those two.
I could see either one.
I just don't know who I would pick. Because if I was in Stanley's shoes, I would pick J Money. Just because like J Money was on my team last year. When I interviewed him, he did say he would like to be in a team with me to get revenge of last year, because you know we crashed on our first game, alright? It was BS, but you know it was for charity. I had to keep going.
Oh yeah. If I were to make a say J Money's definitely a strong bet. I could also see it being MCC just because I think there's good chemistry with them as well. So I'm gonna go with one of those two, and then probably FPS by third. But I honestly, it's a coin flip for me. I think
it would have to be MCC. I think he has more chemistry with MCC than J Money.
I'm totally content with that.
Alright.
I think that would be the wise pick too, just because I know MCC's like a big BO6 gamer right now. So I am totally content with him being picked 4.
Okay. Now 5th place would be me. This is where I keep my mouth shut. Brad, you choose for me. I'm not allowed to say anything.
Well, going off of what you had just mentioned with J Money, I think he's a very strong. I would say if J Money fell to you at 5th, that'd be a pretty strong candidate for you there. I could also see you going with Chuck. I could also see you going with Rage. Personally, I think you're gonna take J Money on this one. Just based off of off of what you had just previously mentioned. So he's a strong BO6 player. You have played together. You have chemistry. I think this is a very good pick for you at pick 5.
So you're saying J money?
Yes.
Okay. So Brad's protection for me is J money. Alright, interesting. Now for crazy shit. Crazy shit's a lone wolf. I think if he does his research on his players again, for modern zombies, who here has really done a lot of modern zombies on here?
I don't know anything about if Zenity has played much BO6. I don't know if Zone Xbox says.
Zone X
lot of
plays a
BO6
lot of Black Ops 6. He's known for side eggs.
Okay. And I don't know Beware the 6. I don't know how much knowledge he has of BO6. So, same with Nova. Like those are the only ones I'm not entirely sure of their gameplay. Well, and a little bit Audacity, but those would be if I had to make a pick for him. Maybe Beware the 6.
Okay.
Just because I feel like those guys could have, because they're both newer. They're both. Beware the 6 is more of a modern zombies kind of a player. I think that would be a good shout for him. But again, I'm literally just pulling names out of a hat. I'm just gonna go with one of those guys, and I'm gonna go with Beware the 6.
Okay. I personally think Crazy Shoot will go for Zone X. Personally.
And I'm totally content with that.
Like, I don't know if Crazy Shoot knows anyone here, but I'm gonna go with a gut feeling here, and I feel like Zone X would be a good pick for him. I'd say they're, from what I've seen from both of their content and stuff, I'd say they're both on the same skill set.
I'm cool with that.
Alright. Zone X for Crazy Shoot.
Again, I wish I knew a little bit more about him, but I'm comfortable with locking that in.
That's fine. So then we go back to Jolts. So this would be his second round pick. Of course, he has Rage left, No Name here, Chuck, FPS Psycho, Audacity, Legend HD, Zenix C, Beware the 6, Whitecliff, Nova V2, yourself, Brad, Tim, and that's it. Brad, you gotta say you, dog. He's going for the chemistry pick this time. I can see it.
This is probably be the time where I would think if he, at no matter where in the second round it would be, he's probably gonna pick me. But I will say if I'm the first pick of the second round, that's kind of a stretch. But I'm gonna say yes. I'm probably gonna be the next pick.
All right, I'm locking that in. Absolutely, I see that happening. Be Rad the man for the second pick of Jolts. I can see it. Alright, now Expert. This is going to be a tough one. Well, actually, no. Absolutely, no, it's not.
I'll let you go first.
Well,
Who do you think he's gonna pick?
well, Expert's in our friend group. I know he doesn't talk to us a lot, but again, we met the man, for God's sake. He knows Rage. He knows Chuck. He plays with Audacity on his team for Z4C. He knows Legend. And he does know Whitecliff. And he does, like... He does know Whitecliff. He knows Whitecliff and No Name. But compared to, like, Rage, Chuck, Audacity, and Legend, he has more chemistry with them compared to those two. But...
True.
If I had to say, if you had to choose, because like, Chuck, he doesn't play a lot of BO6. He's well skilled in it, he just doesn't play a lot. So I think if Expert is already aware of that, I can see him, oh shit, I see him genuinely choosing Audacity. Like, Cody...
I was thinking...
Go on.
See, I was thinking Chuck for this one.
Okay.
Which really, if you think about it, it's a chemistry pick. It's a strong speedrunner pick. I know Chuck doesn't play much of BO6, but that guy he's got a photographic memory. But he knows everything about every zombies map. Like he plays it once and he pretty much has it locked in his brain. I have a feeling that if Chuck falls to the second, I would be surprised. But if Chuck falls to expert at this pick, I think Chuck is going to be the next pick.
Caleb is in the chat. What's up, Caleb? Chuck in the third round. So this is for a second round. So Brad's suspecting he'll choose Chuck in the second round, which I can see that being a possibility. We're just taking into fact that Chuck hasn't played a lot of Black Ops 6, like, post-launch. Like, even, like, when Citadel launched, he's mostly his hardcore focus on Marvel Rivals. But Chuck does know his... again, like Brad said, he has a photographic memory. He knows his stuff. Chuck falling second round would be crazy. It would be. That, and it's like, it's definitely the best chemistry pick because Xbox and Chuck, they are definitely, like, they've got the chemistry together. Like, I know that was his part. Chuck was Xbox's partner for the Captain Draft in ZPC 2. I'm pretty sure they were in the same team for ZPC 3 as well. Then they split apart because Chuck became a captain in ZPC 4. Same applied for ZPC 7Cs. Chuck's a first round pick. It's definitely a possibility, but
I see it. I still think Chuck would be a first round pick.
It's a high possibility.
Let's say, like I said, I just don't want to reveal who Jolts would probably take in the first. So that's I didn't make a selection on that one. Expert, I think, would probably take Xbox with the second pick, and then, like I said, Freckleston. Like I said, I think Chuck would be with
Freckleston,
Insane Gamer for Freckleston. Like I think that's, if I were a betting man, that's probably where I would put Chuck.
If we were to go for less, like if we were to go for less and rewrite everything, I would say Freckleston would choose Chuck first.
I'd be okay with that, like personally. But then I would say that Insane Gamer would probably be. Actually, truthfully, Actually, I'm okay. I'm okay with going Chuck to Freckleston if we put Insane Gamer as a second round pick to Expert right now.
Okay.
If we want to rewrite it, I think that's probably going to be the most logical selection there, truthfully.
I don't know. It's just like Chuck's well known for speedrunning, but
him and Freckleston have a good chemistry.
Well, I only say they have a good chemistry because Freckleston doesn't really communicate with many people on this list, but out of anyone on this list, he's probably communicated with Chuck the most. But when was the last time they communicated with each other? Probably not since.
That's true, but if you talk to each other even a little bit, you still have a general idea. And they said, considering the fact that Freckleston's a speed runner, Chuck still, like, when he plays is pretty much a speed runner. Like, that speed runner chemistry is going to be there, especially if they get even like a little bit of practice in. I think I say we rewrite it. I'm okay with it to move Chuck where Insane Gamer's at, and Insane Gamer is the second pick of the second round.
For Expert.
Expert. Yes.
I can see that being a I can see that being a possibility.
Right now, because otherwise right now I have Chuck going to Expert's team, and that's going to be an insane ass team. So
absolutely, I can see Chuck going to either Freckleston or Expert. I will be 100% honest with you on that one. But before we just rewrote this here, I have a gut feeling, just a weird ass gut feeling that last, before we just switched Chuck and Insane there, I can see that most likely
The-
happening. I can see Freckleson picking Insane. I don't know why. I have a weird feeling, alright? I just have a weird feeling.
It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility just based off of how much BO6 gameplay he's got, but I truly think that it's going to be Chuck there, and then Insane Gamer at the second pick of the second round. Like I think that's going to be the best bet, the
Yeah,
most
like-
likely scenario.
And that's the thing that like gets captains going when it comes to their thinking process with the captain draft. It's like, how good are these players? How much have they played Black Ops 6? How much chemistry do I have with them? How much chemistry will the person I pick have much chemistry with the other person? Like Insane Gamer just said there, me and Xbox running back, they were teammates last year and they came second. Chuck and Xbox have been teammates before as well. Good chemistry all around for that whole team, so I could definitely see.
I think
I can see it going the other way.
this is the most likely scenario. Like I think this is the most likely scenario. Just like I said, skill set and chemistry are definitely going to take precedence with Freckleson for the first pick. And as like I said, I think Insane Gamer is a good shout for a first round pick, but I think if he falls to the second and he's on Expert's team, that's a freaking steal.
Agreed. Alright, well, for second with this list, third pick, who would third pick be?
Saying now this is where I'm skeptical.
Well, yeah, third would
But-
be Freckleson.
Yeah,
So,
and
for,
I think this is
for a second round pick,
I think he might go ask Chuck who he would want for this pick if that's the case. And truthfully, again, I don't know about Zone X or Beware the Six. I really don't. Like I don't know their game styles.
here's a hot pick. I'm pretty sure, I think J Money or Insane when I interviewed them said this. Can see Freckleson picking FPS Psycho, because yes, in Black Ops 6 Zombies you're not playing off your own connection, you're playing off your own like region of servers here. They're both from the UK. That, and they might not talk to each other, but they've got to know who each other are.
That is true, but I just don't know. I really don't know like what they're that in my head it's like logically I would agree, but I think it's either between FPS or Beware the Six.
I'm locking in with FPS Psycho.
I'm content with that.
Okay. Locking with FPS Psycho, it's Freckleson's second pick. So,
If FPS doesn't go with this pick, I think he would go to Stanley's team. Just
Right. I can see
with
that.
his second pick.
Yeah, Stanley would be next. So he's got Rage, No Name here, Audacity, Legends, Z4C, Beware the Six, Whitecliff, Tim, and Innova. I think
Again,
Stanley's aware
such a
of
wild
who
card.
Rage is,
Yeah.
especially last year, because Stanley did join a lot of the hype streams. But Stanley knows Whitecliff more on a personal level as well. So if I had to choose between those two, because I genuinely think it would be between those two, I think it would be Whitecliff 100%.
I would agree with that, but again, Stanley's such a wild card for me. I'm not entirely sure. Like,
I know,
his
that's why
approach
it's
would be on
difficult.
this. But yeah, I'm okay with picking wild card. Wild
Wild
this one.
card.
I'm okay with picking Whitecliff, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how he goes about this round.
Okay, if Stanley had to pick someone else that was not Whitecliff, who would it be? I could genuinely see it being Rage, but if it wasn't to be Rage, I could potentially see it being from people that I think I could see Stanley potentially picking Legends, because I know Stanley knows who Legend is.
Yep.
I can maybe see him choosing Beware the Six in or Nova V2. Those are like the 4 people I have in mind outside of Whitecliff. And speaking of Crazy Shoot, what's up, Crazy Shoot? How you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day today. I think it would be Whitecliff, but I definitely think outside of Whitecliff it would have to be Rage, Legend, Beware the Six, or Nova. Those are my predictions.
I'm totally cool with picking Whitecliff for the second pick, but I do have a feeling that like Whitecliff's a good player. I just feel like he's someone that pick 4 though, that might be tough. Yeah, give me Whitecliff for this pick.
Okay. Doing good, how are you guys? We're doing just fine, man. We're doing just good.
Alright, and then for your pick, I think if Rage falls to you in this far, I think that's a slam dunk. I think Rage is on your pick or on your team here.
You think Raid is on my team?
100%.
Alrighty. I actually can't put Rage's thing. There we go. Again, chat, I'm not allowed to say anything. I know that it's just predictions, but this is about my team here. I'm not allowed to say anything. Alright, so Rage instantly going in there then.
And then crazy shoot for the 6th pick here.
So he's left with No Name, Audacity, Legend, Beware the Six, Z4C, Nova, Tim Hansen.
I don't know.
Well, okay.
Crazy shoot, give us an idea here.
Yeah, let's be fair. Crazy Shoot. Do you know anyone on this list?
With ad-free listening, song downloads, and more on the YouTube Music app.
I don't know. Like if I had to make a prediction, I think it might be.
I know some people. Right, he knows some people. Obviously, he's not allowed to say anything as well because he's the captain.
That's true. I'm gonna go based off of my gut. It's either gonna be my pick here would probably be Beware the Six, but I could also see No Name here being the pick as well. I think it's gonna be one of those two.
I don't mind who will be in the team, guys. Have to be a part of it. Well, you'll be choosing your players next week, depending on where you place. This is just a prediction on what we think the teams will look like. So this isn't your actual team, if that's what you're thinking. But I can see Beware the Six.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those two. Like, again, crazy shoot. I know, like, I need to look into your game style a little bit more, but I think it's gonna be one or the other.
I could potentially. I'm having a gut feeling of Z4C.
That's probably my third option.
I'm gonna have to go with Beware the Six.
That's probably who I would pick, but again, I just don't know his. I don't know I don't know his gameplay that much, so
Alright.
I'll go with Beware the Six.
Gonna be really rough for me next week as I didn't really play BO4 a lot. Well, we have revealed the challenges, so I was just saying there, like, because we've revealed the challenges to the public now, we'll tweet out after this stream as well. If you ever want to stream your practice runs, you're free to do so now. Alright, but so these are the teams so far. So if we go back to the first place, so this would be Jotes's last pick. If this is the order they were going in. And this is the players he's chosen so far. This would be his last pick, cementing his whole team.
Now, I know who I would pick, but then again, I would also just go with, like, I know who personally I would pick, but I think this is a pick where I think you gotta finish strong, and I think it's either gonna be. I think it could be Legend.
Wow. Okay. I could see Legend because I think he's talked to Legend more than any of these guys, but because I was trying to think, who else would he pick outside of Legend?
The only other one I could really think of, I think it could either be, I think Legend's would probably be the top pick, but I could easily see No Name here just to add a little bit of spice to it, I guess. And then probably Zenity would probably be about the third option. But I think Legend is probably going to be, of these final 6, I think Legend has a very strong case to be the top pick in the third. And I again, this is no disrespect to Legend. I honestly think he easily in the second round as well, but Legend hasn't. I don't think Legend's really played much BO6, so that's why
I think
skeptical.
He's played a decent amount of BO6, but compared to like the majority of like the people that really grind it here and like the people that really don't, I can see him going second round.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, he should be above me. Like, if we're being realistic, but
if it was Jolt's choice, I still see Jolt's picking you over anyone. I cannot see a future where that happens.
Realistically, I'm kind of in agreement with you, but like realistically, he should be picking me in the third. But I think if he gets Legend in the third, that's a steal.
Right.
And that's who I would probably pick.
I think it's gonna have to be Legend. I do personally agree. Just see, yeah. There we go. Okay. Legend for the last pick on Jolt's team. That's a pretty good team.
Yeah, I like that team.
I like the team. So next would be Expert. So this would cement Expert's picks. I think it would have to.
Audacity.
It would have to be Audacity. That or No Name. But I think Audacity plays a lot more BO6, and Expert knows Audacity a lot more. I think
it's Audacity.
I think it would definitely have to be Mr. Cody himself. I'm cemented in Audacity for the last pick of Expert's team. Now,
Strong pick.
for Freckleston's, if this was the last pick here, this is going to be a tough one, dog.
ZZ.
Zedixie?
Yeah. I think that's it's either him or No Name here. I think those are the most likely of the two.
Going off of gut feeling, I'm gonna have to agree.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go with ZXE.
Alright. Zedixie for Team Freckleston here.
Yep.
Alright, so we got the last 3 players being Tim, Nova, and of course Tim himself. With the next one going to Stanley. Shit. I think it's really between Nova and No Name, because I think I'm more leaning towards Nova. I think Stanley knows Nova a bit more, but I do think he is aware of No Name also. So it's between those two.
See, I was thinking Tim.
Wow. Okay.
I think this is gonna be one where I could see Tim getting along with these guys so well. I think the chemistry with those 4 would be incredible. But I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is gonna be the one to win. I think Tim is g absolutely huge.
Wow.
I really do think Tim would be a strong candidate for Stanley's team, at least in the final round.
I'll agree with that. I just I don't know. This is a tough one. He was already a wild card. This makes it even worse.
I know. Like I think he's gonna go for. I think Stanley would go for more chemistry if he this is his options. Like I think he goes for a chemistry pick, and I think. Like I said, I know Tim. I love Tim. He's a very good, he's a very easygoing guy with this, or with as long as you're pretty much not a dick, you're gonna have a good time with Tim. I think Tim is gonna be, he's gonna really love playing with the rest of the guys.
Yeah. And since in chat, FYI, for official draft, I think it would be helpful to put the player names on the screen too. I know in the past there have been captains who definitely don't know every player. That's what we're going to do. This was kind of rushed on my end, so you can kick my ass. But then of course I'm going to give, because I won't be hosting, the host will be revealed probably tomorrow. The host for the capture draft will be revealed tomorrow most likely. I'll give them, the list of players here, and then of course the last list of players. I'm gonna have to get them to make their own little little draft screen here, so I will definitely keep that in mind. So thank you for the heads up there. Oh boy, would it be the Timmy man? If it didn't, because now I can see it being Tim. If it was not Tim, I don't know.
If it wasn't Tim, I'd probably go with no name here. But I think this is a very strong. That is true, Spider-Man. I think this is a. I think just based off of having a good, fun chemistry, I think Tim with Stanley's team would be a lot of fun.
I see it.
But I'll default to you.
I think I see it being Tim now. I really do.
Actually, I'm cool with it, but if you have a different opinion, I'm definitely more than willing to hear it.
No, I could definitely see it being the Tim the not tap man, Tim the Hanson man. I think we walk in with Tim.
I'm cool with that.
All right.
And then for you, I think no name here is the pick.
Okay. And then Nova would go to crazy shit.
Correct.
Alright, so this is me and Brad's combined predictions here. If I had to say the team, let's break down the teams that are from our list here, what the teams are most likely. I think Expert's team, from what we have here, I think our prediction is a good chance.
Yep.
Stanley, that's a I don't know scene. Jolts.
At the very least, Stanley's team is going to be a fun team. That's what I'm going to go with.
I think Stanley's will be a fun team. Jolts' team. I think Jolts will definitely pick you. I think it really all depends on the position he's in. I don't know if he knows Invalid, but if he does, I definitely think that would be,
And like I said, I know in my head if he gets a high pick who he would take, but again, I'm not revealing secrets, so
If I had to say, I think this team is a good chance to happen. I can see Legend being there. I'm just not sure about Invalid, but if Joel Stowe's Invalid, I can see it possibly happening. You 100% Invalid. There's no change in my mind. For Freckleson's team, I don't know. I can see Chuck's team happening. If Chuck and Insane were in there, I would say it's most likely. But with FPS Psycho, ZXE, and Chuck, I'm not too sure.
I think again, if Freckleson somehow is in third, I think he does take Chuck. I would see Insane Gamer, MCC as like the next options, but like I said, I just took Insane Gamer off of the idea that he plays a lot of BO6, and Chuck doesn't play as much. But I think in terms of just having speedrunner mentality and having some knowledge of BO6, Chuck is definitely going to be on Freckleson's team, like almost regardless of where Freckleson picks.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think having FPS and ZXE is like that's another like that's a slam dunk of the team right there.
I don't know. I'm in the grey area for Freckleson. You can talk about my team, see if that's possible or not.
I think so. I really do. I think personally, I think like in my head, I still think Rage is your first pick, and then J Money is your second round pick. But I can also see you like just taking J Money right off the rip because I have a feeling that you could probably get Rage in the second round.
Okay.
And as much as I love Rage and how good of a player he is, I think Rage is someone he doesn't like he plays enough of BO6, but he doesn't play like a tremendous amount of BO6. And I'm sure like once like he figures out his team and he's committed or whatever, he'll be fine. But I just don't know like how much of the Easter eggs and stuff that he's knowledgeable in. So that's why I think you get Rage in the second. But I could easily see him being a first round pick too. Like truthfully. And then yeah, for Crazy Shoot's team, again, I don't know much about him or any of the players that are on his team, but I think if he gets this team, if these are the up and comers basically, or the like basically the fresh blood, so to speak, then this is a very solid team.
Okay. I can see Crazy Shoot's team definitely happening. And he does know some people. How many of those some people, I don't know. But I'll trust his judgment. I can see it. If we had to go down the list, Xbox could genuinely be on any team. So anyone could be on any team. It really all depends on placements.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, but I think realistically, if it's Xbox could easily be on Expert's team or Freckleson's team. If you get a high like a top 3, if you end up being in the top 3 with the challenges, 100% you're taking Xbox.
Really? Okay.
I almost guarantee it.
Wow. There's a lot of good picks.
I think Xbox is almost a guaranteed top 3 pick.
100%. I'll agree with that. Chat, are we satisfied? What do we think? What teams are you thinking of? Like,
did we cook or did I screw up?
what prediction of these teams, or these 16 predictions, do you think is most likely to happen next week? Xbox said you all cooked. Yeah, chap, you had to choose one team out of me and Brad's prediction here. What one do you think is the most likely? If I had to choose one... Fuck. I could see Experts or Stanley being the most possibility. I'd probably lean to more towards Experts though.
Of like being the realistic team.
Yeah. Out of these prediction picks, if I had to choose one, I can see Experts being the one that most likely happens.
I think in terms of realistic picks, Experts team is probably as close as it could possibly be. And then
Absolutely.
probably Crazy Shoot would be the next closest. I think Stanley's is probably third, and Freckleson his team might be the fourth realistic.
Okay.
Again, there's so many wild cards in here. I don't like I said, I'm intrigued to see how this goes because like I said, I don't know your mentality going into it. I don't know how Stanley's gonna pick. I don't know how Crazy Shoot is gonna pick. But if I had to put a mock draft together, I think this is probably gonna be the most like based on how we positioned everything. I think this is a very legit. There's a very legit case to this.
Okay. What about... Okay, so let's go down here. Out of the first round picks, so that would be Xbox, MCC, Invalid, Chuck, J Money, and Zone X. I think Xbox is definitely going round one, that's realistic. I think Chuck has a good chance to go round one, but I don't know, man, I'm getting a weird feeling.
I'm strongly on the side of Chuck's going to be on Freckleson's team.
Zone X, I think he's at a good place with our prediction, but I think that's anyone's game. Invalid, I'm also the same on that. As for J Money, like obviously we've predicted to be on my team, but if I just had to say in general, if he was to go to a first round pick, I could say J Money. I see it most likely happening to be second round pick, but I definitely see that quite a good possibility for J Money to go in the first round pick. Xbox also said I think Rage is a first round pick actually. Rage.
See, in Xbox, with my thinking of it was, I think regardless, Rage is going to be on Clarky's team. I think no matter what happens, he's going to be on Clarky's team. Whether that's going to be the first round or the second round, I'm 100% putting. I'd put $20 on it right now that Rage is going to be on Clarky's team.
You're out of your first. Depends on who knows him very well. I think it really does depend on who knows him very well because, again, I'm not allowed to talk to myself as no matter what Brad or any of y'all say. Again, I'm the host and this is my team production, so I'm not allowed to say anything.
And like I said, I only went with J Money in the first just based off of like what Clarky was saying earlier when we were doing the draft of these two want to play together. They want to have a chance to like redeem themselves over what happened a couple of years ago. So that's why I went with J Money in the first. But I could also see Rage being the first pick for Clarky and then J Money going in the next round. Like those two could easily be flipped around. But I think both of them are going to be on. Like I said, I would guarantee Rage is going to be on Clarky's team. I'm confident that J Money will be on Clarky's team.
Okay. And if I had to say, if anyone does know Rage at this list the most, yeah, me. I would then say Expert and Stanley, because Stanley does know him after last year. That and Expert and Rage were on the same team for Z4C 7Cs. They came second, and that was Rage's first ever year.
Jules has also played with Rage too, like not in Z4C competition, but just in general. So
never knew. All right, that changes things.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I would say me, then Expert, then Jolts, and Stanley. Freckleson and Crazy Show. That's one or the other there. Okay. As for second round picks, I can see him being a first or second. I can't see him being last. Whitecliff, I think he's a solid, like, a really good second pick. Same with you, Brad. I can see you being first or second pick just because of Jolts. I see it happening.
I realistically, if Jolt's smart, he would not pick me with the first pick.
Jolts,
Like, realistically.
Jolts, if you're in here, give us a sign. Just give me a hint. Tell me now. FPS.
Honestly, if Jolt's is smart, he would take me with the third.
FPS, I think he's a good first or second. I think he's more second though. And then Rage
I
again.
can see him being a first pick, but it's gonna be like he would have some stiff competition of being a first pick. He'd be a late first round.
If he were to be a first pick for anyone, it would honestly be between Stanley or Jolts.
Probably Stanley, but it'd be, I don't know, maybe both. I don't know. Again, there's so many wild cards in this.
Yeah. And Beware the Six, yeah, I can see him being a second or third round pick. Jolts has given us a sign. I will say the team I'm thinking of drafting does look different than the one you all predicted. No further comment. Oh boy. Did we at least get one right? No, I'm joking. Alright, well that gives us a sign. If they got to know them well, Legend and Tim would be great on the same team. Now, let me repeat this. This is what Legend said, and I repeat. Legend said this, I think either he tweeted this out publicly after the live reveal for this year's Z4C, or he said this to me whilst I was streaming. Legend said, if you want me on the team just to have a fun time, just to chill out, he would try his best anyway. Just like chill out, have some great laughs, hell, even make content. He's your guy. That's Legend's words, not mine. Those are Legend's words. That was after the Zombies for Charity the Chaos Trials live reveal. So there you go. That's something you got to take into account.
You're watching a Toothbrush play. But did you know there's a YouTube music app where you can listen to other?
But yeah, no, Rage, I can see. It really all depends. If people do know Rage, there's a more higher possibility he'll go around first pick. Second pick though, I can see it more likely happening. And as for Beware the Six, I can see it being more second or third round pick.
I agree with that.
For Cody?
Yeah.
Audacity Cody. I think he could be a good second round pick. Again, Expert knows him. Expert's participated with him. He came third in Z4C3 with him. I'm pretty sure that was the last time Cody ever played in Zombies for Charity. And then I don't know. I think Cody would go third round. Sorry, Cody.
I don't know enough about Cody's Audacity's gameplay, so that's why I kind of just had you in the third, and I apologize in advance. I apologize to a lot of these guys. You guys are you're a hell of a lot better than I am, so you probably should be above me for sure. But
I think Audacity.
Based off of all that, I'm just going with that.
Yeah, no, I think Audacity will end up on Expert's team. I think that is. I think that'll definitely happen. Because, again, they've got good chemistry, they've played together. On top of that, Audacity does grind a lot of Black Ops 6 zombies. Not as much as, I'd say Insane Gamer. I'd say, maybe half of what Insane Gamer does. Because I know Insane Gamer does a lot more 24-hour streams than, everyone on this goddamn list. So, yeah, no. And I know Audacity, he does his fair share of 24-hour streams, but Insane Gamer, I feel like that shit's once or twice a week, or twice a month even. There's a 24-hour stream I see from you. Tim. Yeah, I can see it being a last round pick. Legend, I can see it being second or last round pick. Z4C, I can see it being a last round pick. Sorry, dog. And then No Name and Nova. I know those two are very upcoming on the zombies content creation scene. So I think I'm more leaning towards last pick, but I'm not opposed to them potentially going into the second round pick as well. But that's just me personally.
Yeah.
But that's what I think. That's what I think personally. But aside from that, that is really me and Brad's little mock draft though. Again, FPS Cycle was supposed to join, but I don't know if bro passed out or something. And I know we were the 6% long and then unfortunately Invalid and Zonex, they couldn't make it today. But no, that's just good. I don't want to say I'm satisfied. I don't. But I fuck with the list, chat. I fuck with it. Brad?
I think it's a good list. There's definitely some things that could easily be flipped 100%, but I think I think those are very strong cases for the teams. I have a good feeling about a good chunk of these players. There's just some that I'm skeptical of.
Yeah. Gotta get screenshots so I can post on Twitter. There you go. Yeah, no, it's anyone's game. Again, these challenges, they're the most, you could quite literally say, just the challenges on their own are quite really basic. But like, there's like throwing in custom mutations across the difficulty, no elixirs. There's a big twist in that do make them more difficult. So that's what it is, man. But I'm excited. Again, the Captain's Draft is happening next week. It is on Black Ops 4 Zombies. It will be happening June 14th, 1 PM Eastern, 6 PM for people in the UK like myself, and it's 7 PM CEST. And then, of course, the challenges, once again, we'll go over it again. First challenge will be the free Death of Orion, Wonder Weapon Easter egg speedrun. Get it in the fastest time possible. Hardcore difficulty, no elixirs, and you get a time limit of 45 minutes. And then for the second challenge, it's Tag the Tone, the 5 challenge totem speedrun, along with Pack-a-Punching 2 weapons for golden Pack-a-Punch. Again, I'll look into this challenge, I'll talk to the others and see what they think, and we'll definitely discuss and see if this can be changed. But as for the rules are going to stay the same. Custom mutations, no elixirs, Winter's Wail is banned, and Victoria's Tortoise is also banned, and then there will be a 15-point reduction that you need to set through custom mutations. Time limit, 1 hour. And then for the last challenge, it is the Ancient Evil Easter egg speedrun with no Winter's Wail, no Victoria's Tortoise, hardcore difficulty, classic elixirs only, with a time limit of 1 hour. Those are the Captain's Draft challenges. And again, I do think from any main event that we have done Black Ops 4 Zombies on, those are definitely the most unique set of Black Ops 4 challenges we have done. Like, again, take out the rules of what we just done, they're basic challenges, but like the twists that we're throwing in there, custom mutations, hardcore difficulty, it's got its own little twists. They look painful, don't worry, that was the plan, no I'm joking. No, I think they're alright. I think definitely the hardest one will definitely be the Tag the Tone one, but I think like, you know, the Death of Orion one's simple, but just with a little twist in there, and then of course the last one, being Ancient Evil, has its own little twist, but it's Ancient Evil Easter egg speedrun, everyone knows that. I'm definitely scared for this challenge though. Tag the Tone, I'm going to be scared for that one. But, yeah, but I'm excited. Let me know what you all think. Do you think, like, it will most likely end up looking like this? Like, do you think teams will end up looking like this? Or do you guys have your own set list? Let me know. But aside from that, that is really it. Again, we're now at the halfway point for this year's Zombies for Charity already. Like, that is nuts. There is no hype stream tonight or next week, seeing as it's 2 main events 2 weeks in a row. So after the Captain's Draft done, there'll be like, what, 3 more weeks left of hype streams. And after that, hype streams and merch, they'll still be live. The donation link will still be live after the main event's done, because we do keep Z4C stuff live till the end of the summer. So keep it live till September 1st. So yeah, but the fact that we're already halfway through this year's Z4C already is nuts. So again, I want to thank you all so much for the support you guys have shown it. And we have already raised, again, $450 for WWF. So again, a big claps to everyone, to the supporters, donators, players, hosts, captains, all the people that have been supporting Z4C throughout this year so far. All big claps to you guys. I really do appreciate it. And again, if you guys want to donate, even something as small as $1 would be greatly appreciated. And if you guys still want to support the charity but can't donate, then simply just share out the donation link. It's pinned in the chat. It's in the description. Share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, any social media, or even with family members or friends. Just to support the charity in any way, shape, or form would be greatly, greatly appreciated. But to go over the captains before the Gacha draft start and the list of players again, captains are Expert Fusion, Stanley557, Jolts, Freckelson, myself, and Crazy Shoot. Along with that, the players are Reduce Aimbot, No Name Here, Insane Gamer, Chuck V107, FPS Psycho, Too Bad for Xbox, Invalid, Audacity, The Legend HD, Zone XBX, Z4C, Beware the Six, JMoney26, MCC, Whitecliff Games, and then the last 3 players that have now been revealed being Nova V2, B-Rad the man himself, and Tim Hansen. Those are all the players in Xbox. The host, I know I told you who the host is, but the host will be revealed publicly on the Twitter, so shh, don't say anything yet, shh. The host will be revealed tomorrow for the captain's draft. But once again, thank you all so much for coming out to this mock draft. Brad, I thank you for coming out to this mock draft, even though you have a sore throat. So thank you for coming out. Brad, do you have any final words?
Just excited for next week, and I'm excited to see who I'll be teaming with for the main event this year.
Awesome stuff. Best guys, thank you all so much for watching tonight's mock draft. If you guys enjoy, again, please do donate to WWF. It's for a great cause. And then if you share out the donation link, please do. Also, do go check out our merch. Shout out to Arkwright for the amazing merch he's made. More merch is actually coming out soon, so please do go check out. And I'm excited. Next week is going to be mayhem, so stay tuned, everyone. Stay tuned. Base guys, thank you all so much for watching. Me and Brad hope you all have a great rest of your night or day, depending on where you are in this crazy world. That's the Jason H Gaming outro there. And I will see you all within the next event, being the Zombies for Charity Captain's Draft for Zombies for Charity, the Chaos Trials.